Here we are coming down the most critical stretch of the NBA season, and the Dallas Mavericks are playing some of their best basketball all year long. We look at their last 10 games, they have won 9 out of their last 10. They are currently on a 5-game winning streak, and after watching their most recent win and their most recent performance against the Sacramento Kings, it has made me come to the conclusion that this is the most dangerous team in the Western Conference. Now, when we look at this game from last night, this is kind of like a playoff game for both teams, the Sacramento Kings and the Dallas Mavericks. I believe they had an identical record going into this game, and the Sacramento Kings had the 6th seed and the Dallas Mavericks had the 7th seed. So a very pivotal game, because we know whichever team is that 6th seed, that's the final spot to have a guaranteed spot in the playoffs. So this was a big time game. Sacramento Kings had home court advantage, which is one of the craziest home court advantages in the NBA. I remember watching them in the playoffs last year, Doncic Sabonis grabbing a defensive rebound, and the crowd is going nuts. So it could be a hard place to play, at times. And we saw the Dallas Mavericks come in there and they put on the show. What they did to the Sacramento Kings last night, I hate to use this language, but that was a spanking. I believe the final score was like 96 to 132. And if my math is correct, that is about 36 points. So to go in there and beat them in that home court in a game of that magnitude, I think it was very impressive. But that's not the only thing that's making me say this. Just watching the Dallas Mavericks since the trade deadline, they've been a completely different team. And I think they finally put some pieces around Luka Doncic that takes his game to an even higher level that we've seen over these last couple of years. And before we keep going forward, I do want to say that it is a real shame that this is my first time this entire season talking about the Dallas Mavericks, because there is a lot to unpack with this team, a lot of good that is. And something that I really love about the Dallas Mavericks is this supporting cast that they have right now. I think the role players on the Dallas Mavericks are really good. We saw them be great at the trade deadline, bringing in Daniel Gafford and also bringing in PJ Washington. It's crazy how much better you can see an NBA player actually is when you put them in a better situation. We saw Daniel Gafford with the Washington Wizards over the last couple of years, and the Washington Wizards have been a really bad basketball team. It hasn't really been much notoriety to his game up until right now, and he is a really good player. It's been really fun watching him with the Dallas Mavericks. He's had some crazy games so far, going a crazy amount of games without missing a single shot. He's just been fantastic for the Dallas Mavericks. But that's what I love about what the Dallas Mavericks have done this season, starting in the offseason, bringing in Derek Lively, finally pinning some bigs around Luka Doncic that can actually run and dive to the rim and finish consistently and finish aggressively around the rim. For Luka Doncic, for much of his career, the bigs that he's been running with has been Maxi Kleber and Dwight Powell, two guys that's not really consistent inside the paint on either the offensive or the defensive side of the ball. So Derek Lively has been amazing this season, and also bringing in Daniel Gafford. That has been big time for the Dallas Mavericks, especially in that two-man game, and also giving them a presence around the rim when it comes to protecting the rim defensively. So I love the bigs. And then another thing that I love about this supporting cast is their ability to move the ball really well and also knock down the three-point shot. Now, right now, the Dallas Mavericks, they're third in the NBA when it comes to total three-pointers made per game, and they hit around 14.6 threes per game. So they get up a lot of threes and they knock down a lot of threes. Now, when you have guys like PJ Washington out on the perimeter, Tim Hardaway Jr., Dante Exum, Josh Green whenever he's healthy, and then also Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving having the ability to knock down the three-point shot. If you watch the Dallas Mavericks play, you see them get so many easy looks and so much easy offense just off Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic beating their matchups. And once they get that defense to collapse, they keep moving the ball around until they finally beat the rotation of the defense and they get that easy three-point shot. And then once teams start adjusting, now they're getting easy layups, easy rim runs at the rim. We've been saying the the bigs of the Dallas Mavericks just have a dunk fest due to this ability of them to knock down the three-point shot and also move the ball really well. So that's just something I'm loving about the Dallas Mavericks right now. As great as Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving has been this season since the All-Star break, I think this supporting cast has been playing around them perfectly. And with that being said, now we can get to the top two players on this team, this duo of Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, which has been so fun to watch this season. Who would have ever thought that these two guys would be on the same team? Now these two guys are the biggest reason why I think the Dallas Mavericks are the most dangerous team in the NBA. And I want to remind everyone what we saw from the last time Kyrie Irving had a teammate like this. When he had a teammate like LeBron James, they pulled off a crazy 3-1 comeback against the Golden State Warriors. Now, I know Luka Doncic and LeBron James, their game isn't exactly identical, but the impact that they have on the game of basketball, their ability to control the tempo, the pace of a game, their ability to dominate rebounding, assisting, and playmaking, and also scoring the basketball, that is where Luka Doncic and LeBron James are very similar. And the last time Kyrie Irving had a teammate like that, he was able to win an NBA championship. And it's crazy how powerful the NBA media is, because I feel like Kyrie Irving is having a very, very underrated season. He's been outstanding this year for the Dallas Mavericks. And I just feel like some of the choices that Kyrie Irving has made in his personal life and off the court, the national media has kind of used that to turn their backs on Kyrie Irving. Now, things has gotten a lot better for Kyrie Irving this season. He's been on the court consistently. The Dallas Mavericks are winning ball games. They're winning big time games. And also that shot against Nikola Jokic that has done wonders for Kyrie Irving is helping people realize the superstar that he actually is. And for me personally, I just don't think that Kyrie Irving is talked about enough anymore when it comes to being one of the best players at his position, one of the best players in the NBA, not making the All-Star team despite having one of the best years in his NBA career. And we look at this year by Kyrie Irving playing alongside Luka Doncic, a player that's averaging 35 points per game, averaging 10 assists per game, averaging 8 rebounds per game. A player that has the ball in his hands as much as Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving is able to average 25, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and he's damn near having a 50-40-90 season. Now, going into that game against the Sacramento Kings, he was right at 49% on the season from the field. He's shooting 40+% from the three-point line and 90+% from the free throw line. So there's about 10 games left in this season. It's very possible for Kyrie Irving to have a 50-40-90 season. That is just outstanding. But what else can I say about Kyrie Irving that you guys don't know about? Probably the most skilled player in the game today, one of the most skilled players of all time. He can do it all on the offensive side of the ball. One thing that I've noticed about Kyrie Irving, and I got to watch him play live recently, is that as much as he's as skilled as he is just as fundamentally sound. He's really good with things like pump fakes, using the triple threat. Sometimes just using one dribble to get to a bucket, sometimes not dribbling at all to get a bucket. He's been really good fundamentally, just as good as he is skilled. So when he puts those two things together, it's really fun to watch. And it also it kind of looks like science whenever Kyrie Irving is playing the game of basketball. So sorry if I'm kind of rambling on here, because it's really exciting talking about the Dallas Mavericks. This is my first time all season long, and like I said, there is so much to unpack with this team. Now we're going to be moving on to the final segment of today's video, and that's talking about Kyrie Irving's partner, and that's Luka Doncic. And Luka has been outstanding for the Dallas Mavericks this season as well, but I must say I did over-exaggerate on his stats a little bit. He's not averaging 35 points per game, just 34 points per game to go along with 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Now, what's so impressive about this to me is the efficiency. To average 34 points per game, to average 30+ points per game, and to shoot 48% from the field, 37% from the three-point line, and then also 78% from the free throw line. It's like, what else? What else can you ask for? And then Luka Doncic, MVP candidate, been one of the best players in the NBA all season long. I think he's established himself as a top 5 player in the NBA. And I know our league is so talented, but it's very hard for me to choose 5 players that's better than Luka Doncic right now. And it's honestly hard for me to choose one player that's better than Luka Doncic right now, because it's truly amazing watching him. And I must say, he has a bag like I haven't seen before. And we look at Luka Doncic, I like to start with his frame. He's 6'7", and he's around 220, 230 pounds, playing the point guard position. So he is the ultimate matchup nightmare. Just like LeBron James, a matchup nightmare. It's not no right defender you can put on him, but like we established, the way that they play, score the ball is completely different. With Luka Doncic, he can do it all. He's a masterful 3-level scorer. He can knock down that 3-point shot off the catch, off the dribble, and he also has a shot creation move for his 3-point shot. He has the step back that is very dangerous. He doesn't take many mid-range shots, but whenever he does take a mid-range shot out of the post, off the dribble, it usually goes in. And then he is just a true wizard around the rim. One of his most craziest moves that I see him do. I only see 2 players do this. Maybe I'm not watching enough basketball, but I only see Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic do this, and it's kind of like the slow step. They take 1 step, pause for a minute, see how the defense reacts, and then once they see them jump or contest, they kind of lay it up. I'll try to put some clips in the video so you guys can see what I'm talking about, but I think that right there is so elite. And then also, he's just a great finisher with both hands, floater, through contact, acrobatic. He can do it all around the rim. And so you have these components of him being a great isolation scorer, great pick and roll scorer, and then he also has moves on the low block. He is a great post scorer, has tremendous footwork, has great patience, knows how to use the pump fake. He can literally do it all on the offensive side of the ball. And then to make things better, he processes the game like guys like LeBron James, like Chris Paul, like Magic Johnson, some of the all-time greatest players. Luka Doncic has that same type of computer in his brain. He knows what's going to happen before it happens, and he's an outstanding passer. So with these 2 guys paired up, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, with the role players that they have surrounding them, I think they are dangerous enough to go into any series as underdogs, but still have a pretty great shot at winning that series. So that's what I wanted to talk about with you guys today. It was so much fun talking about these guys. I feel like both of their games are very advanced, Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, and it's a blessing that we get to see both of these guys on the same team. But if you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment down below if you agree or disagree, and then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man, and that's curtains.